Good rising, family. Good rising. Black Feniks checking in. Right now, I'm at the headquarters and I wanted to talk to you about if I would have died in my 20s. I read a small article about Milo and Malcolm X and a few more great Black leaders, but in their early stages of life, they was going in a different direction. We tend to be products of our environment. And until you actually get out of that environment and put yourself in another environment, you don't know nothing else. All you know is what you know. And I want to read you something that I read in this small article because I posted. It says, if Maya Angelou, when she was 20, she would have died a prostitute and a single mother. If Malcolm X would have died when he was 20, he would have died as Detroit Red, a thief, a woman beater, and a drug addict. People's mistakes often lead to their greatest destiny. We all have a story to tell. So I was thinking about that this morning and I shared it on my Instagram and it picked up a lot of traction because I kind of shared some highlights of my story. And I showed two different photos of myself. A photo in my 20s, my late 20s. A photo of me present day, like maybe a few months ago, finishing up my container conversion. And if me personally, if I would have died in my 20s, you would have knew me as a street kid who went to prison for 10 years, aggravated robbery and drugs, who got an education while he was in prison, learned how to weld and fabricate, and was able to buy his own home after he got out of prison at the age of 28. He was able to have a new hustle. But then it was all about the possessions at that time. When you never had it, you try to go all out and get things. So even though I was doing some constructive stuff, I still was wrapped in possessions. Like I was trying to get certain things that I thought would make me feel whole. You know what I mean? So I would have died in my 20s. People could have said, yeah, he changed. He changed his life. But then I started, at the end of my 20s, I started thinking about possessions, getting caught up in that hustle again, So at the break of my 30s, I ended up getting incarcerated again, but only for a short period of time. This time it was for 10, 11 months, something like that. You might as well say a year. And during that time, I was actually 31 at that time. And it gave me plenty of time to reflect back on my 20s. You know what I mean? Like, because I survived that 10 years in prison. I got out, I got a chance to dress nice and drive some nice cars and to meet some pretty women. You know what I mean? I got a chance to go some places, but it was still vain though. I wasn't completely living my purpose. You know what I mean? I was just feeding my ego, so to speak, now that I think of it. And I was providing for my family. I was a husband then, and I had my kids, and, I was doing for them. But it was all about looks, you know what I mean? I did a lot of things vainly because I didn't fully understand who I was, you know what I mean? So me personally, if I'd have died in my 20s, my story would have been incomplete. You know what I mean? It would have been, he did this, and then it ended up going back a different direction towards the end. You can still say, oh yeah, he did this, but he started getting back into the streets. So sometimes you have to realize that you can't let someone judge you and don't judge yourself from your past. You know, we are products of our environment, you know what I mean? And as we know better or we learn better, we tend to do better, you know? So when I think about that now, it just makes me humble to still be here today, you know, knowing that my focus changed, and it really, really changed at around 35 years old. And I can really say I grew up at 37 years old, which is when I first started my LLC, and lost a lot of family, lost a lot of friends. But that's when my change really started coming, was in my 30s, in my mid 30s, you know, literally in my mid 30s. I woke up and started seeing a different me. You know what I mean? So from that point on, I've been dropping archives, building containers, fabricating, ironworking, welding, building my business, my brand, doing my best to put constructive information out, and also being transparent with who I am, so that way I can assist or help someone that's, you know, going down that same path, so to speak. So you have to be humble and just say, you know, I'm still here. I see myself now. And everybody see themselves in different stages, you know what I mean? I know some guys that's 50 that's still lost, you know? So to me, I wouldn't particularly say that it's a certain age, but it's most definitely past 20, you know what I mean? Before you really wake up, and past your 20s, before you really wake up and start seeing, because you think of a lot of things foolishly then. And yeah, you might make some cool decisions, you might do some cool things, but it doesn't mean you're grown, or you have grown into who you are or who you're going to be at that time. You know what I mean? You're just passing through. It's just a transition. And that's what I had to realize, that the stuff that I went through was a transition to get me here. And I'm still transitioning. You know, I'm 40 years old now. So 20 years later, for my 20s, at that time when I was 20, I was still incarcerated. You know, I didn't get out of prison until I was 26. And from 26 to 30, I did a lot. You know what I mean? I tried to, you know how they say, play catch up, you know, so to speak. And I did a lot. But a lot of the stuff that I did, I lost now. A lot of money I blew, things I own, you know, a lot of things, women, jewelry, clothes, you know, a lot of stuff you do when you don't fully understand everything about you or what you really want. Now, my value, you know, I don't mind, you know, I like to look good, don't get me wrong, but that's not a main objective. You know, I don't go out of my way to buy new clothes. I haven't in a while anyway. You know, I maintain certain stuff. I buy new stuff, but you know what I mean? I don't just go out and I got to go shopping every week, you know. I tend just to get my necessities. But I'm thankful that I'm still here, though, through all of that past drama, you know what I mean? Because literally all of that is adding more substance to me now. You know what I mean? Now that I survived it, because I think about it like, man, it was times when I was doing that 10 years, that decade, when I didn't think I was going to make it out. You know what I mean? Like literally, I was like, I'm going to probably die in here, because I wasn't going to allow no man to violate my manhood. You know what I mean? And things was crazy at that time. You know, I even caught another charge while I was in there for protecting myself. I caught a attempted murder charge, stabbed the guy 9 to 13 times. So, you know, it was about survival at that time. So at times you don't see how you're going to be, you know, later, when all you're thinking about is how you're going to survive right now. You know what I mean? That's all you think about. And then once you get out, you know, it's like all about trying to take care of a family. And I remember my mom she told me this before I got out, not to jump into a relationship, not to get married, to wait, you know, to have, you know, she know I want to get a lady friend because I've been locked up, you know. But she was like, don't get in no marriage. You just did 10 years. You need to wait before you do that. You need to make sure, you need to check the person out. You need to make, you know, regardless of whatever. And you know how you do. You follow your heart, so to speak, and not listening to reason. Do it anyway. Bump my head. Oh man, I don't know how things would have went if I wouldn't have, but I know how things went since I did it. You know what I'm saying? And I think about what my mom said. Very wise. But you know, at that time, you know, you don't think about things like that. You know, you just think about, you know, you in love, so to speak. And it's always good to have someone on the sideline who actually want to see you do better. They can see down and say, you know what, don't go down there. It's going to be a different path. You know what I mean? Or sometimes we think we got to learn it ourselves. We don't. It's better founded to learn from somebody else's mistakes than from ours personally, because we won't live long enough to learn from all our own mistakes. So it's better to learn from Joe Blow and Susie and Karen. You know what I mean? It's better to learn from their mistakes than for you to actually experience it, because you got to think you're wasting time, and life consists of time. And then you might not learn from the mistakes you make continually. So it's better to grow up and be wise and look back on history, because history repeats itself. You know, all we do is give it a different name. But history literally repeats itself with how we act and how we are as people, you know. So I think most definitely, if I would have died in my 20s, my story would have been very, very incomplete. It would have been like, but, you know, you don't want to but in your story. You might want to and that's what happened. That's what I'm doing. I want to, and he did, and he kept going, and he kept pushing, and he built his own pyramid. You know what I mean? But you don't want no but though, you know. I had some homies who died in their 20s and their teens, whose stories never got a chance to be completed, who died with buts, who died with just in the plain wrong. You know, some of us don't get lucky enough, if you want to say, or blessed enough to outlive our mistakes. Some of us will make a mistake instantly and have to go from it, you know. So, you know, you don't understand how things are orchestrated in your life sometimes, with your family, fathers, mothers, lifestyle, people around you, you know. But I do truly believe, in my personal opinion, that when God got a purpose for you, and when you have a purpose, that he's going to put certain things around you to help you get through those obstacles. I remember my auntie told me one time, she said, we even going through a problem, in a problem, or coming out of problem. You know what I'm saying? But it's a cycle. So you're going to have to realize that when you're at the bottom of your problem at this time, it's okay, because you're going to be at the top again. And when you at the top and you smiling and you drinking good and you doing all thing, keep in mind that you're going to be at the bottom again. And the bottom might not be financial. It might be you made it through financial. Now you go through something else. They gave you a heart. They gave you a weary heart. You might survive this, and now you got to go through survive something else, you know. So I just think that it's wise for us to not to judge ourselves or others for what they do in their 20s. I think, you know, even the doctors are now even saying that a man's mind ain't mature until he's in his 20s. And then, you know, in your 30s, 40s is when you really start developing a keen sense of awareness and what direction you want to go. So I think that the 20s are very important. Some of us are blessed to see good years, and some of us are blessed to see, you know, seeing some bad ones. But if you're still here today, you know what I mean, then your story ain't over. You know what I mean? It's not over just because you had a couple bumps in the road, bad relationships, lost some money, you know, made some bad decisions. That's okay. You're still here, you know. So you still got one more chance to get it right, to prepare. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance, you know what I mean? So I was just up thinking about that. The cover to this live stream, I'll probably change it to when I was at the peak in my 20s. You know what I mean? I was like doing good, you know, grinding. So I'm going to put that cover up there just to show you some possessions and some friends that I had around me that I don't even talk to this day. And we didn't really just fell out. It was just, you know, sometimes when you in a certain lifestyle, you have certain people around you. And once you change up and you start waking up and doing stuff different, they just tend to fall off. It's just what it is. Yes, for real. They are based off American standards, man. And it's good, I think, to actually take heed to that we have to realize that we've been brainwashed from the get-go. You know what I mean? We've been brainwashed since the public school systems, you know what I mean? And watching TV. I mean, we tend to think we got to have certain things to make us feel a certain way. A certain drug, a certain clothing, a certain size, look of whatever, you know what I mean? But one thing I have noticed, and I know now, none of that stuff matters. I tend to think simple now, you know, like, what was I born with? The most valuable thing I was born with is life. Life, point blank, period. Life to live out my purpose. I wasn't born needing a high. I wasn't born needing a certain car or truck or whatever. You know, a lot of times I think we complicate our lives with needs that are detrimental. You know, they're not really good needs. We just place our wants in the place of a need, so to speak. You know, I think we got our wants and needs kind of like, you know, backwards. Or just got wants and needs, but they both are wants, really. You know what I mean? They ain't really like, you know, like you just push these to the side. This want is my need, and this want is my want. You know what I mean? I think we do stuff like that. It was just something, man, I was just thinking about this morning. But we have to be thankful. And if you are in your 20s, don't be down on yourself because you had some rough times, because it's not over. Just because you're at the bottom right now, don't mean you're not going to be at the top soon. You just got to stay consistent. Stay at the work ethic, stay at it. You know what I mean? Yes. But you got to think though, that's the status quo. That's how they get you. They make up a vain truth. And, people die trying to live the American dream, trying to live a vain reality. It's just what it is. I heard a guy say something, and I didn't really think it was wise. I respect the guy because, he's older than me too. So I respect him. But what he said to me, he said, I got shot because I wouldn't let nobody rob me. And I felt since I wouldn't let nobody rob me, I got more respect from the streets. Even though I almost died, and I got to wear this bag, and I got these holes and this limp. But I'm real though. When I thought about that, yeah, that's real. I don't know if that's a little too real. When you think about it, you think like, my life, whatever I possess, my life is more important than my possessions, me personally. And if you can run up on me with guns and give me what you got, I'm from the streets. I'm going to give you that shit. Here you go. Because one thing I know, if I got it one time or two times, I'm going to get it again. So you ain't taking nothing from you taking that at that moment, but I'm going to get it back because I done lost it before many times and got it back again. So I'm not finna just get shot just to get shot because I want to hold on to a necklace or a ring or a watch or shoes or a shirt or something. Man, get that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping on that. I value life, and I'm not finna to provoke someone who's hungry at that moment. If I'm in a bad situation, I'll put myself in a situation where they say, well, I have to give it because I've been a robber. So I've been on both sides of the tracks. You know what I mean? And I know how people think. You got some people that think they want to hurt, they on drugs. Then you got some robbers that just rob for the money. They ain't trying to hurt you. That's how I was. They was just want the bag. You know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean? Just want the bag. We gone. But you got some people, they don't care. They want the bag and hurt you and do something evil to you too. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But I think that it's very clear that we don't get caught up in losing our lives over some possessions, man. I get you want to be real to your hood. You can still be real to your hood and say you got a chance to live one more day. You can't fight. You can't say you was hard. Oh, I fought off 3 AK-47s. Barely lived. Got shot 50 times. Can't even move right no more. Nah, not if I ain't got to. You know what I mean? Like I can see a situation where you got no choice. Somebody just came and dumped on you about something. But if they say, give me this, or we're going to do this, get that shit up, man. Don't try to, you can replace that. You know what I mean? You can replace that. You can replace the cars, the money. I had a best friend of mine now who's dead, named Jamie Frank. I remember him moving to Louisiana, and I forgot what part he was in now. He was in Baton Rouge, matter of fact. And he was in the wrong part of town walking. And clean, we like to dress. He clean, nice shoes, nice shirt. Some guys pulled down on him. Give me that. He had to walk off in his boxers. He said, man, my life wasn't worth them bringing that little chain, them shoes and that shit they wanted. He took that shit off. They let him have a t-shirt and some boxers and his socks on. He walked home. He was like, man, they caught me. He said, and then he keep a gun on him. And he was like, at the time, I believe he said he didn't have it on him, but normally he kept one. But he was like, even then, he wouldn't have pistol played. He just would have gave it to him. You get the pistol too, man. I'm not finna trip with you today. I'm trying to live, And I think that's how we got to think. You know what I mean? We can't be naive to just life, man. Life is valuable. I don't think life ends, me personally. I think we leave here, but we don't leave. I think our life is. I don't think God destroyed life, me personally. If he lives forever, he gonna create something that lives forever. I think that it just, I think we might create our next life, so to speak, somehow while we living here. This is just my personal opinion to me talking. You know what I mean? I believe a little different. You know what I mean? But I don't I don't believe in pushing my beliefs on anyone. You know, I might speak about them, but I don't believe in pushing my beliefs. I do believe I'm a spiritual person. I do believe in God. I do believe in destiny. You know, I believe in karma. But reincarnation, I can't really just say I fully believe in reincarnation, but I do believe in the spirit not dying. You know, the spirit might can come back as another person. You know, I think that can happen. You know what I mean? I don't know about the animal thing, but as back as a person, because I think, I don't know, in my personal opinion, I think human spirits cycle, human spirits, animal livestock cycles. Animal livestock is kind of like you freezing the DNA now and want to unfreeze it. It's all when I unfreeze it in 10 years, this human DNA going to turn to an animal DNA. I don't think that's how that works. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I mean? So I believe that, you know, we recycle again, maybe as a child through another situation. You know, you was born poor this time. Maybe next time you'll be born in a better situation with a better chance. You know, maybe you be conscious of it and maybe you don't. You know, I don't know. You know, maybe we've been here before. I have had someone tell me that, man, you've been here before. Yes, I do. I've already accomplished that. I actually got a product that I sell for $100. I got a product that I sell for $150. I got a product that I sell for $250 or 200. Well, yeah, 200 or 250. I got a 350. I got a 500, 400. I got a $10,000 product, which is my shipping container conversions, welding skids, staircases, handrails. You know, so I'm steady working on some more products, but I most definitely got some products now. Let me see what you're saying. Oh, no, you good, bro. Like I say, I just came live. I just wanted to talk for a minute about that. But because I this, you know, it was just on my heart. But, you know, when I got someone coming in live with me, I'm going to talk to my people. That's why I don't have no problem with, you know, stopping and seeing what's up. But yes, most definitely. The goal is, that's why I really talk about and preach and teach all levels of products over talent, because products over talent do that. Once you get your skills, you start making products. So I have shipping container conversions. I have welding skids. I have some, matter of fact, let me show you something real quick. Check this out. Hold on, let me grab something. You made me think about, show you something real quick. This is my look. It covers my look. Field folder. So here are my blueprints. That's a product. This product I sell for $100. You can buy the product off of my website. That's www.HogOn2017.com. www.HogOn2017.com is the site. You can get the horizontal one or the vertical one or the horizontal one. It also show a detail of how the print is if you get one. This is actually the vertical one. Here go a copy of one of my staircases. So Those are two products. My shipping container conversion products. And it talks about it. You know, you can go on the website, but it tells you about what we do. We specialize in shipping container conversions, turning 40-foot high cubes into custom 20-foot units, mobile welding, metal fabrication, and installation. Welding classes and courses are also available. So those are just some prints. Yes, that is the plans, the blueprints actually. And you create your welding jig, but it's pretty much the prints to make the whole thing verbatim. Like I give the print shows you how to cut your pieces, assemble everything, and I don't give a tool list of different things you might need, because if you're a welder fabricator, you already know how to square some. But if you're new and you don't, you can email me and I can send you one and give you a step-by-step way to lay out the welding skids. I don't have the stairs available yet on the site, but they will be soon. But I do have them. Well, I'm starting to reproduce them. I'm gonna be in a new area soon, so I'm gonna be promoting them a lot. Handrails, different custom things that I make, from the staircases to the welding skids, most definitely, in different type of container conversions and welding products and supplies, things that can help the field welder, shop welder. You know what I mean? I want to come up with some things, not only for household, because I want to come up with some household things, some designs, some frames, some things that I can network and promote. That's mine. Some ideas, some different artwork. So I want to do something different, but it takes time. But my goal is to keep making products. So it's products over talent. But most definitely you can make a product, and really get yourself over the hump. I remember sharing, I'm gonna have to find it and share it again, but it talks about how to actually make $1 million, with your products, and how to price, as far as what prices can get you certain amounts over time. And I'm gonna have to find that so I can share it, but it breaks down how you can make it and how you can actually duplicate that money to make that $1 million. You know what I mean? So I think it's important that we learn how to do that. But like I say, I do have a few things, and it takes time. Here go one of my, actually, show you this real quick. Here go one of my shipping container conversions. And this is a plan to show you how to turn the 20-foot high cube, into a unit. And this is for home, office, business. But I really specialize in the business aspect of it, because I understand it takes money to make money. But as long as we are in America, as long as you are a citizen, my personal opinion, especially if you are a Black American, Black Native, African American, whatever you want to call yourself, we got to have a business. Like, it's about business. That's why I really promote business. Excuse me. I really promote business, because having a business, a sole proprietorship, an LLC, I really would like you to have an LLC, because you can have a sole member LLC, a home-based LLC. I think it's wise, because it gives you more protection. But I think we're going to have to do this. That's how we're going to get our reparations, to my personal opinion, that we can create for our families. If we start businesses and learn by mimicking other businesses, and buying education, and, taking programs and getting around other people who's actually smarter than you. You know what I mean? So that way you can be able to gain more, to do more, I think that that's going to be very wise for us, man. So I'm trying to lead by example. That's why I drop random videos. I might, my goal is to be me. So I just be transparent. My goal is to educate and to also do my business, financially and get things off the ground. But I don't just push down somebody's throat, buy this for me, buy this for me. I just put what I do out there. And for those who want to shop with me, they shop with me. For those who don't, they don't. For those who listen, they listen. You know what I mean? It's cool with me because regardless, I know that what I do is going to eventually come back to me. And that's something that I would say, don't worry about. If you keep hustling on what you're doing, it's going to eventually come back. Like, you're going to see a profit. You're going to actually start winning. One thing I learned about the truth, it will not return to you void. Like, so if you be truthful with yourself and work on your products and don't be scared to throw it out there. And you might have a client that help critique it for you. Like, might say, hey man, you should have had this and this, boy, that'll show really help it. And then you might think like, man, you know what? I never thought about that. That might made it a little easier for you. Like, there's a couple things that I have changed up from listening to my clients and seeing what, it could have did this, and I'll tweak it a little bit and make it better and better every time. So we get better over time. So you can make your product better over time. It can start off at one version and end up at the next. Just like my containers, that was just one start. I can do anything, but I had to have a basic blueprint to actually start networking. And that's it. Thought I had another one, but my goal is to actually lead by example and to show that products are with talent and to really get my mental, physical, finances in line, because it's hard to teach something if you're not living it to me. I don't want to, I'm not the person that's going to be on here just chasing clap. You know what I mean? That's not me. Whatever comes, it's going to come naturally. You know what I mean? So I do appreciate all those who follow and take the time out to share and hit the like button and come by and spend some time checking out the videos. I appreciate it. Salute to everyone. Just a heads up. Like I say, I literally started this just to give what I wasn't finding, because I was looking for some information and I couldn't find no one that just was giving it raw, that was just showing you how to be free from the system. Everybody was trying to show me somehow I had to go kiss the man's ass. When at the end of the day, I said, oh yeah, it's something good. And they directed me right back to that same door. I'm like, I just look, no matter how it sounded, I ended up at that same door of servitude to the system somehow. And I didn't want to do that. So I was like, man, I'm going to find out, even if I got to create my own independence. And I'm going to stress it because I use welding to create my independence. That's why it's HogOn Welding. But everything I talk about isn't about welding, because to get your hog on is a lifestyle, man. You have to hustle over grounded obstacles naturally. It's something that we go through. So I think that it's just wise that we use what we go through to build who we are. So just wanted to talk to y'all this morning. I'm going to let you go. Kind of stayed a little too long. I was just checking in. Got a few things I need to finish doing this morning. But wanted to just say, man, don't judge your past. And if you're in a situation in your 20s, it's going to be all right. You're going to overcome it. Just stay at it. Most definitely, that's the whole purpose. We got to show them that there's a better way, and they can be actually free from the system, and they can think for themselves. Like, we got to be that example. So most definitely, I do this for the youth. You know what I mean? I want to be that example that actually evolved in saying that you can still love what you do as you grow. And that's why I formed the hashtag welding in hip hop, because hip hop is our culture. And just because you get old, you don't stop hip hop. I'm gonna be hip hop forever. I'm 40 years old. I rap. I still listen to it. I still produce. I'm involved. That's my culture. You know what I mean? We just grow up and everybody got a different style of culture, but it's still hip hop. So I just put the welding with it to show you that I got my freedom through it, and I can teach how you can gain or someone else can gain their freedom or independence through welding. So that's why I put them together like that. Yeah, hit me up on IG. My IG is HogOn Welding. So everything is HogOn Welding, Facebook, HogOn Welding, Instagram, HogOn Welding, Twitter, HogOn Welding. But be blessed, man. Let me get up out of here. Like I said, I got a couple things I need to do this morning, but I wanted to come to you live and just talk to you about that because it was just one of those things that was on my mind and I felt like we had to have a small discussion about. But salute everyone. Y'all be blessed and continue to get your hog on. Black Feniks.